Alright. I apologize for the mess down here. Things have been crazy. But what I'm going to show now is an explosive push-up. This is not going to be the same thing as plyometric push-ups you typically see where people are hopping. And the reason is that most of the time when people do those, they're not actually exhibiting maximal speed. And the point of plyometrics is to teach your body to turn on as many motor units as possible, as quickly as possible. So you're not talking about sustained power output, you're talking about boom, boom, boom. It's got to be fast, and it's got to be instant. And to work on this, one of the best tools you can do is a drop and catch. This is done explosively. And what it's going to look like is I'm going to start from a full extension push-up, just like this. And then what I'm going to do is pull my hands up. I'm not going to be jumping and catching and doing things like that. What I'm going to be doing is dropping down and then immediately catching myself and pushing up as fast as possible. So it's more like you see that was too far. It takes time to build these. You're going to want to start with a small drop and then build up to a little bit more. And if you can, accelerate all the way through it from the moment you catch up. The whole point is that you're coming down and you're throwing yourself up. You'll be very surprised at how much more force you will feel yourself producing. These are hard. You should probably start off with a fairly short range of motion, and as time goes on, I would imagine that you could lengthen it somewhat, but that should be done very, very slowly. These are not a high volume exercise. You're not going to do as much as I just did there. Probably only want to do maybe sets of like not more than 10. Ideally, I think 5 to 7, because what you're after is absolute maximal output. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're doing anything less than that. So that's it. A couple sets of those a couple times a week give you a couple huge benefits. One, you do start learning to turn your body on as quickly as possible. This is similar to impulse training. The other thing that is really good about this is that you get extreme compression in the bones. And that is what leads to remodeling. Slow, steady weight doesn't do that much for bone decomposition. It won't really do a whole lot to make your bones stronger. Sudden shocks do. So you should also keep in mind that if you do too much, you will end up with compression fractures. So at first, you should probably only do these 1 or 2 times a week for a couple months. And then you can slowly ramp up to where eventually doing them almost every day is not going to hurt you. These are also extremely good for turning on your nervous system. You'll notice afterwards, especially if you're doing them right, that I don't know how to explain it. You just feel like ready for anything. You feel stronger. You're already used to that boom, that fast, explosive movement, because that's what you've done. So if you do things like this before your maximal efforts, you will perform better on them. Doing better on those means you're going to do better. You're going to get more of a training effect from your workout. Pile those on top of each other in a macro cycle. That means you make more progress over the long run. Alright, that's it. Just showing this for a friend. So, man out.